Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of How It Was Made. Today we're going to talk about episode 3. I'm Zio with Game in case you're new here, and I'm going to talk about some of the more exciting parts of episode 3 that was challenging to film or maybe an interesting plot point. Let's just get started. Before we get started, I just want to let you guys know that all the How It's Made or behind the scenes are no longer going to be on this page. They're going to go to our Patreon page for our patrons. $5, you get the behind the scenes stuff. You get access to all the behind the scenes that we release monthly, and you get access to every script we write. That's right, you get to read the script exactly how we wrote it and see how it differs from how we filmed it. You also get special Discord privileges on every tier through Patreon. So check that out, guys. We'd love the support. Thank you. We're going to start off right with the intro, just give you a chance to listen to it. Now that intro was made by Airbear. He made that customly for our show. It's awesome. We use it in every episode. We're going to use it in future episodes. It's a wonderful intro. He made it. I think it kind of just captures the essence of Next to Nothing. Especially them being in a desert setting. I think it just fit the tone very well.
Robin, when Ness found you, was there another person
Basically, in this scene, we have Prek asking Robin if there's another body. Robin explains that it's Jethro Evans. Jethro Evans is a character that's kind of just reoccurring throughout our show and seasons and other shows. He's kind of the bridge between Next to Nothing and the Galactic Hub Call Center because they're in the same universe, they're just not on the same timelines, as GHCC kind of jumps around. But Jethro Evans was just to kind of show that they are the same universe. Okay, so in this scene, this whole scene, the whole walking scene is fabricated. First, I'm going to talk about how I filmed it, and then I'll talk about the scene itself, because this entire thing was camera trickery to some degree. So, how I filmed this scene is essentially, I'm playing a third character, so there's 3 of us in this scene together. I turn off my HUD, and I get into first-person perspective, and that is how we get the shot we have now. Basically, we all downloaded this mod called a walking mod, and where it allowed us to walk at the exact same pace the entire time. That allowed us to get more consistent filming, like so, creating a walking scene. Before we created a whole trackpad and I moved my camera against the pad, well, this was the better idea to film, and this is how we filmed walking scenes going forward. Although, recently I've come up with a second idea, more specifically for running scenes, and we can go over that when we get there. Now, this entire borderline right here is on a plateau, or a mesa, I guess is technical. So if you look real close, the ground is slightly different between here and here. Now this is natural ground that raises up into a mountain. This is a mesa that we are on top of. Now, in the mesas in a desert planet, at least specifically our desert planet, has no plants or cactuses or anything on it. And you're wondering, well, you have cactuses and plants everywhere. Yes, but we use the Euclid mod to build this set. This entire set is fabricated. We're not using the actual game cactuses. The idea is you're focused on the characters, you're not noticing the background. So we just needed to sell the background as is the best we could. And I think it worked out really well. At least as far as I'm aware, nobody caught that all of this looked different.
I think it's your turn to ask.
And then also right back there.
Really?
You only get it for a scene. Right there. That's a save point. You know, because you have to have a base. Sorry, that's a base. You have to have a base before you can build anything. So we built the base there, and then we just built this scene to make it look like it's a desert. This next scene is one of my favorite scenes as well. I love this scene. We'll watch it real quick, and then I'll talk about it.
Maybe it's a life support plant? Then we can grow more of it, and you can eat those.
I highly doubt it.
O2 deposit is located 0.16.
As you can see, I'm hopping up and out the camera. Kind of works with the walking part.
274.56 yards.
How many feet is that?
823.68 feet.
Oh, wow.
How many inches is that?
9884.16 inches.
How many
How many pencils is that?
1317.888 pencils.
That's enough, Ness.
Aw, Prek, we're just having fun. Besides, she got them all right.
So that right there, that whole scene, that was a fun scene. I really enjoyed writing that scene, mostly because it shows Ness's playfulness, but at the same time, it was kind of a hint towards Ness being different. Now, I believe in the comments one person did catch this. Somebody did notice saying, Ness says that she was right, which means he's smarter than he lets on. That's partially true. So the idea is there is something different about Ness. We know he's super strong. We know he's got incredible endurance. And he didn't say we are just playing around like he did in the scene before this. He said, besides, she got them all right. But, yeah, it's just one of those story beats where we tried to foreshadow Ness's plot twist at the end. And some people got it.
And Robin told me where you were, and that's how I found you.
Now, that next scene, and Robin told me where you were, and that's how I found you. Basically, that was just a continuation off of... We had a whole 2 to 3 minute scenes of Ness and Prek walking through a desert, and Ness is just being super annoying. Well, we cut it out because a good chunk of this episode, probably a third to almost half, is just them walking. We didn't want to just have even more walking. Even though the dialogue could have been fun and funny, we didn't want to have even more walking in this episode. We needed just something to happen for story beats. So we cut it out. And we ended up making a mini-sode out of it from Ness's perspective, where Ness is following Prek and they play the silent game, and then they play I Spy, and then they play this game where Prek guesses what Ness is thinking. That was originally going to be in there. They're just going to play a bunch of games where Prek and Ness are walking along, and Ness is just driving Prek nuts. A big inspiration from that. A lot of people compare us to Red vs. Blue. But that scene specifically was supposed to reference SpongeBob. And with the Krusty Krab pizza. So this next scene that's about to unfold is super awkward. I wanted to do it because I'm a huge movie buff. And in movies, it's always impressive when one guy creates like a one-shot scene that lasts like 5 minutes in a movie or a couple minutes. It's just super impressive that you can get all this coordination, choreography going on in one shot without a mistake. So this was the first time I ever got to try it, and it wasn't successful. We're going to watch it, and then I'll talk a little more about it.
Ness, I think that's what we're looking for. That's gotta be it. That has to be it.
Oh,
Prek's excited. Ness gets
That's
excited.
awesome.
With a bunch of cuts, we could really display it,
what
but
is it?
because it's
Robin, if this
machinima,
plant can help us, I will kiss
can't
you,
really,
glorious machine. This trip
like,
might have finally
express
gotten us
well,
something
because
useful.
you can't see their faces.
But
So that was a longer scene without a cut. The idea was just to kind of have that, and while it's super awkward here and it doesn't work out very well, it helped me going forward, because in future scenes, we do it again, and then we do it again, and then we do it a few more. I think I do it about 2 to 3 more times in the season. And the reason for it is I just wanted to create a longer shot of conversation and dialogue, because I just think it's more impressive to stay longer and hold some dialogue together, as opposed to just jump cut, jump cut, jump cut, jump cut. And we get better. We get better. I think there's a couple scenes that I think work out really well for it. And I tried different angles. I tried to sell it. We tried to do more emotes, things like that. And I think it works out very well.
I'm not even supposed to be here. I was supposed to be done for the day.
And when Prek says I was supposed to be done for the day, it just seems like a throwaway line. But he was referencing in the flashback when he was done cleaning the windows and was supposed to be done for the day. The other janitors convinced him to go clean up the vomit. And that's how he ends up meeting Captain Coral, getting his suit, surviving this whole crash. And Prek is just kind of done because he's super annoyed with Ness. So right here, Prek's like, no, Ness, stop. And then we do this. So with this scene, I basically got into my camera and I just zoomed out. And then I fast forward it, basically, to get this type of zoom. But there's a limit to how far you can go. So I actually had to... Yeah, here to... Which one is it? Yeah, I think it's here to here. So there's the limit right there. There's a bit of a jump. So from here to here. So basically the camera ended about right here. And then what I did is I got another camera, moved up farther, and then I zoomed out even more. And then I just tried to blend the shots together. And I think it worked out pretty well, because I got to go pretty far back. And then at the end, I stop, and let's see, it's somewhere, it explodes. Man, it seems like it takes forever. But yeah, so then we got an explosion. So obviously that is a fabricated scene. Can't create a real explosion like this. It's basically just a green screen. I just googled a green screen explosion and I threw it on there, and it looks really terrible. And that's why it's only like half a second at the end of the show. But this is the first time we use a green screen for next to nothing, and this gave me ideas to use a green screen for future episodes. And we use green screens quite a bit leading up to the end of the season. And I think we got a lot better at them. And in season 2, I think we're going to be even better because we have a different editor now that blends a green screen really well. Even better than the editor I was using before. So I'm very excited for season 2. It's going to be coming out soon, hopefully at the end of September. But yeah, this was episode 3, how it was made. Like I said, going forward, these are going to be for the Patreon. So if you want to see more of these, we'd really appreciate the support. You don't have to do the $5 to get the behind the scenes, but $1 will get you to watch our podcast. $2, you'll get every NTN episode and other content a 1 day early. $5 to get you behind the scenes and all of our scripts. And not to mention, every tier will give you special Discord privileges, like posting images and links that normal Discord people don't have. So, thanks for watching. You guys are awesome. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Bye.